Okay. What? Wait, what? Two corpses here? Okay. All right. This is weird.
It's very weird.
I don't like this. We have to go. We're done. Stop it. Don't touch me.
I can touch you now.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. Stop it. Stop.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, where we break down the latest in television, video games, and more. My name's Adam.
Trying to figure out how to hold this. Oliver.
Oliver. All right, guys. So we are in a different setup. Some things happened. Basically, we went through a storm, and apparently we're getting another storm. We live out in Florida.
Oh, man.
It was really bad. It relocated a lot of people. Circumstances just brought me here to our bud Harley's house. So we're doing these episodes out of here. So we're gonna go over Agatha All Along, episodes 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Because we did miss last week. So overall, so these witches are going through these trials. This show is so
Weird. It's definitely different.
and I love the horror. Or,
Yeah.
I guess the attempt at horror.
Right, right.
It's not fully there, but it's definitely. Sorry guys about that. I just realized really fast that Oliver is very loud and I'm very low because we swapped over our mics and stuff. So
Not even that loud.
yeah. So anyways, we're going over Agatha All Along. And with episodes 3 and 4, we really get to see a lot of these witch trials that are happening on the road. And we get the first one, which is
It was the water one.
yeah, it was the water one. So they're there dealing with in the costumes. First off, when they go to these different trials, they change their costumes, which is really, really cool. But they go into this house and they're in these fancy costumes, kind of like pushing daisies, and they get this like little note that says, I forget what the riddle was. It's been a while, but
I don't remember.
basically it was the point of it was wine, because Mrs. Hart points out like wine, and they all start drinking, and then it reacts. It's a poison, and they have to figure out how to stop it.
She downs 2 glasses easily.
Yeah, easily. And so they're trying to figure out the potion to fix everything and the spell. And throughout all this, we also get more with Teen, where he's confronted by Jen, who asks or tells him about Nicholas Scratch, Agatha's son, who she sacrificed for the Darkhold, and mentions for the first time, guys, Mephisto.
Finally.
Mephisto is finally in the MCU.
My God.
Officially by this name drop. Whether it's Sacha Baron Cohen, we will see. But I digress. We get the name drop of Mephisto, and we see more of the Teen really wanting to be a witch.
Yeah.
Which is definitely a nice motivating plot for the character, but I'm really wondering how the things with Agatha are gonna react and stuff. You know what I mean? And episode 4, which is more recent in my mind, that one, the fire trial,
Right, which was wild.
awesome. So for the segue between both, at the end of episode 3, they all get out of the trial, but unfortunately, they never took any hair from Mrs. Hart, so Mrs. Hart died.
That's right. The potion didn't work.
Yeah, because she didn't get part of it. So she's dead when they get back. They come down this little water slide, and she's just dead.
So funny looking.
It kind of reminded me of Cat in the Hat
Yeah.
when they came down.
That little gooey from Mrs. Swan.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
what a terrible movie.
Mrs. Swan was Mrs. Hart this time because they
Ew.
came down on her.
She was so stiff. It was
Yeah.
just-
How did you not notice? But anyways, so came down, she's dead, and then they realize they need another green witch. So episode 4 opens with them coming up with a spell to summon a green witch, and they end up bringing Rio, Aubrey Plaza, back. Then we get some things about her, and if you guys know about spoilers, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But she comes back and looking fine as hell. Hell yeah.
Had a complete costume change.
Yeah.
From when we saw
So
her
we
before.
have her in more of a green organic costume, which really shows off. And then they start going down the road, and we get a lot of banter between Rio and Agatha, and it's definitely a past relationship between the two and stuff. And I really think that that dynamic, I hope, keeps going throughout the rest of the season. I kind of want to see it to continue to build. I hope they don't divert immediately because they've gotten to that point. Because the last thing in this episode was a confrontation, which I'll get to, between them. But anyways, they go to this trial or to this. They try to not go to the house, and then the road's like, "Nah, you're going.
Nah,
to this
you
house."
going.
So they get to the house, and it's more 70s theme, which, damn, they missed a mark with Mrs.
Yeah,
Hart
I can't believe they didn't like.
not getting the 70s scene because she definitely, we know she's going to be back in this show. I think it's probably going to be through flashbacks,
Yeah,
more than
probably.
likely. Where maybe she did have some, like her and Rio, maybe Rio used her for some reason or blah, blah, blah. But anyways, or she was a witch the whole time and was fucking with everyone. Maybe she's Mephisto. Yo.
Maybe she's what?
Mephisto. Look, guys, that 90s show got canceled. You put Joe Rupp as Mephisto? Kitty Foreman is Mephisto? Bro.
Oh, God.
I
think the world would implode.
I can see her maybe being possessed by Mephisto.
That I could see.
You know, and like rising up and stuff like that.
That would be really cool.
But they get to this trial and they're talking to Alice, and Alice has said since the beginning, like her mother died for her, and Alice's mother wrote the song, or not wrote the song, but took the song Down the Witch's Road and made it into a monumental hit where it's played everywhere, so everyone knows the song. We didn't until we obviously watched the show.
Is it a real song?
No.
Okay.
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, it is.
I mean, before the show.
No.
Okay.
So we get this. We get Alice going through like all these emotions because she's starting to notice like this looks a lot like where my mom was and all this stuff in the recording studios, and she's getting a lot of PTSD out of this. And while they're doing this, they're trying to look for another clue. And when they are looking for this clue, they Patti LuPone's character, I forget her name.
So do I.
She gets like she starts burning, like Wicked Witch of the West, and Alice grabs a dagger from Rio, makes a circle, and like protects her, and then Jen's like, "You better put one around me," right before she gets attacked.
Yep.
And then they put one around her as well. Then they notice, and she had sleeveless and like shoulders exposed, the marks from this demon and curse, and so then they realize the only way to get rid of this curse is your mother changed the lyrics so it can keep it at bay. And so now she realizes, oh, I have to sing the song. So they all sing her mother's version of the song, and it pretty catchy.
Yeah, it was fine.
Pretty catchy. What I will say though is that demon, bro.
So the effects on that curse demon thing were so creepy looking.
Like, it was very practical.
Super practical. I was very surprised. I was expecting like
practical horror to me is always
CGI
scarier.
thing,
always scarier.
So creepy, and it was so. It's like crazy to me that we had She-Hulk before this, like a while ago, and now we have this. Like this is what. Like, it's just wild to me.
So this is the thing. Like, a little side tangent on She-Hulk. A lot of people are still bringing it up as a very bad show, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think that the actress did great. I think with the Hulk, it took us a while to even get used to, like, it seems like when he became Professor Hulk, everyone's like, oh, great. We didn't say that because we liked it. It was more like, this was natural, this progression makes it natural, and blah, blah, blah. I would have rathered a She-Hulk show, like how they were about to do with Daredevil, where Daredevil was going to be like mostly lawyer drama.
Right.
I wish they would have done that with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Let her break the fourth wall a little bit at times, or maybe eventually get there, but they jumped too fast and no explanation to why she can talk to the audience.
Yeah, that was weird.
Deadpool doesn't need it either, but Deadpool
started like that sort of thing.
Yeah, but we also with Deadpool and with Deadpool, he didn't talk to the audience at any given point while he was telling us the story of his life, which means he didn't know about the fourth wall break until after he got his powers.
Yeah.
How that works, I don't know. But I really don't. I know in the comics they also say that like part of his powers is knowing that he's a comic book character. So anyways, I think with She-Hulk, like they just really missed the mark on that because they could really use Tatiana Maslany, whatever, to do a lot more with the character. Yeah. So with the practical, it's like you can't do She-Hulk practical unless you have like a 6'10" woman play it.
I mean,
because they're supposed to like, yeah, but that doesn't mean there's an actress that size.
Right, but
So
even story wise, I think like I feel like we really missed the mark with this one. Just we're only like 4 episodes in, we're super invested.
yeah.
Whereas like She-Hulk, it took me a little bit longer.
Not only are we super invested, but we're continuing a story that ended 4 years
For
ago.
a while ago, yeah.
4 years ago.
So we have a lot more hype behind it.
We watched WandaVision.
This show changed, the name changed quite often, right?
Yeah, and I wonder if it was I feel like it was marketing. Like that was definitely Disney marketing because of how like different TV shows and blah 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 and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yep. And then also wanted to point out Aubrey Plaza's acting, the difference in like when we saw her in previous episodes compared to when she got resurrected.
Yeah. So I will actually get into that, but before we get into that, here's a word from our sponsor.
Let's talk about data breaches. You know how creepy it is to get ads that are like way targeted?
It's absurd. I literally got a text the other day and it just said, "Hello, Oliver. How are you today?" I'm like, I don't know you. How do you know my name? What's happening?
I sometimes respond to them like, "Who is this?" And they're like, "Nah."
They're like,
they don't
"No,
respond back
no."
at all. Yeah. I also get like weird Instagram ads, things like that. It's so weird. And the thing is, like these data brokers, they have your full name, your address, your email, and your health records. And they sell it all for like $1, dude. Quick dollar.
Honestly, so that's why I started using Aura. It's like a superhero for your privacy. It's great. It's amazing. It scans the dark web for your information that's being sold, and then bam, automatically opts you out of those shady websites, so you don't get those really creepy messages that I definitely don't like. You get less spam, and that's just the beginning. Like, having your info out there makes you a target for hackers who could also just crack into your social media, bank accounts, and the whole nine.
Really? Huh. Well, you know, the thing is with Aura, they go above and beyond just privacy, though. They also have VPNs, they also have antivirus, and they have a password manager, like, you know, someone that doesn't forget.
What?
They even have parental controls and identity theft insurance. It's all pretty good. And not only that, it just keeps it simple instead of all those different apps that you have to download and stuff like that.
It's really, really annoying. But look, I know you might already have some of these features covered, but think of it like this. Aura has 24/7 security. That's like the whole week and then some hours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's like all the hours.
Yeah, that's all the hours.
It's basically a 24/7 security guard working tirelessly in the background so you can browse, game, and stream with a peace of mind.
It's honestly one of the best services, guys, especially for different things. Instead of all the malware protection, you get your own VPN service, all that stuff in one.
You get VPN?
And VPN, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So honestly, with all that, you can get it's all for an affordable price too. But if you guys want to try it out, you guys can go to aura.com/nerdlocker and you guys can get a 2-week free trial to try it out and see exactly how it is. It's going to change everything for you guys. It was crazy how much of my stuff was on the dark web.
Less spam.
It's so much on the dark web, guys. They have all the information that you can even think of. Like, just do yourself a favor, make your online life a lot easier with aura.com/nerdlocker. Down below, get a 2-week free trial.
2-week free trial, huh?
Yep.
I like
14 days.
14 whole. Yeah, you got 14 fingers over there?
10 and 4. 14.
That's not 4. You just did this.
Pick number 3, my lord.
And we're back. So when it comes to Rio and Aubrey Plaza's character, guys, we're gonna go into spoilers because talking about her change of dialogue goes into this.
Mm-hmm.
A Funko Pop was released, or a picture of a Funko Pop was released from the show, and it had 3 on the back. It had Agatha, Wiccan, which will be teen, and we'll get into that later episodes, and Death, which is Aubrey Plaza's character. So we now know that she's playing Lady Death, who has a big role with Thanos and Mephisto and Deadpool and all these other people. And I have a funny feeling that what happened was, this is what I'm going to make a theory now, putting all these pieces together. Agatha went to Mephisto to get the Darkhold. Mephisto said, I need a soul of someone. Prior to this, Agatha in witchcraft had already met Death, had a relationship with Death. Maybe didn't know who Death exactly was. The only way to get the Darkhold is to hold the powers over not dying. So I think that Death took her child, because she had to, because that was her job, because that's what she references, and then gave Agatha her powers. which is why Death, when she first sees Agatha, says, "I can't kill you." And Agatha said, "If I absorb your powers, I'll kill you."
Yeah.
So whatever power she has left, Agatha needs.
Damn, dude.
Whether that means that Rio is currently holding the Darkhold again because it was lost. Guess the thing, the Darkhold was apparently destroyed.
Right. Huh.
In Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But multiverse.
Yeah.
Multiple Darkholds.
Damn, dude.
Or the Darkhold just gets created after a sacrifice of a loved one. You know, like, is Agatha bringing Teen with the intention of killing him at the end to make him into a new Darkhold? You know what I mean? Or will Rio become a new Darkhold? But the thing is, Aubrey Plaza it's already been confirmed that she's going to come for future MCU movies and projects. And it's like, when it first was announced, I was like, why? But now that I know who she is, I'm like, oh shit, she's basically like, remember in she's not like as powerful. I think she's like, I don't know if it's peer or one under, but it's one of those. In Thor: Love and Thunder, when they went and saw Eternity.
Oh yeah.
When Gore went to find Eternity. At least that same kind of like power.
That's cool.
So she's like,
she's up there,
dude. She could kill Thanos like that if she wanted to.
Wild.
She's probably like under the Celestials, which we're never gonna get. So they're trying to put in bigger power people, but at a little less of a level, and also it's more grounded. But you're gonna get into Mephisto territory, which that's the thing. Like, how is Marvel going to approach this? Because Marvel Comics, Mephisto's kind of like, he's not like the devil, but as close to as possible, because I think the way, if I'm not mistaken, guys, if I am saying the comments, but in the comics, there really isn't like heaven.
Okay.
Or hell.
Right. Okay.
But there is a hell because of Asgard. It's like, it kind of, if I'm like I said, if I'm mistaken, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it's the gods of thunder. Like, we saw, like, so there was supposed to be a Jesus in Thor: Love and Thunder. So in that Colosseum with all the gods, there was supposed to be at one point.
Yeah, okay.
And they even mention a carpenter.
Yeah.
There. So Jesus is there. Like, God is part of the other gods. So it's, Mephisto is kind of like the one and only bad side of it. But he's not like fallen angel kind of stuff. He's just there.
He's just down there.
So he's not really a devil because there's just multiple gods. And there's not multiple devils. There's just the one Mephisto.
That's crazy. Why is it like that?
I don't understand.
That's so
And I think it's more the fact of like, now you don't offend a religion that way, because it's like, whatever you want, like, their God exists. No one really wants to acknowledge their. And also, I'm not gonna lie, let's look at it this way. And I don't want to get into this on this show like too much, but I do want to point out, every religion has basically the same bad guy. Whether or not it's Lucifer, Morningstar or not, there's a good and there's a bad. So like, it's easier to just personify bad as one person, because everyone kind of lands on the same thing. It's like, if a whole haunted house has a bunch of ghosts, the end of all their stories was they died in that house.
Ghosties.
The things before don't really matter. So like, that's the same with this kind of look for putting a evil character that can also be sold to other markets like China and other worlds and stuff, and not offend anybody, because it's not saying he's a devil. He's just the epitome of evil, and he has certain powers and can warp reality. And that's the thing. Like, this guy can do some shit as soon as someone makes a deal with him. He is so fucking powerful.
That's so cool.
Look at Spider-Man in the comics in Brand New Day. He lost Aunt May because the Civil War in the comics is much different than what we got. Was in Civil War in the comics, he comes up with Tony Stark kind of like in a press conference like Tony did, and he reveals, I'm Spider-Man, to everyone, which causes all of his villains to be like, fuck this. And Kingpin gets a hit out for Aunt May, kills her. Like,
damn.
Like, gets a shot like through her, fucking kills her. Peter, distraught, is like, fuck that. Mephisto, seeing that Peter's at a very low point, says, I'll give you a choice. I will take away everyone's like knowing of your identity, and I'll give you back your Aunt May. I want your marriage to your wife, to Mary Jane.
So Mephisto wants to marry Jane.
No. He just wants the marriage. So he's like, what do you mean? He's like, you never met her ever.
That's cool.
And Peter makes that choice.
Wow.
And reverses everything. And this was back in like 2014. No, 2013, 12, 13, something like that. But like it was a huge fucking like shift and everything. But like fact that Mephisto just needed him to say like, yes, I'll make a deal with you. Like that's how it worked. And so that's what I'm like with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. There was kind of like elements pulled from that because it's his identity getting brought back, everyone knowing Aunt May died. So this is what I'm saying. They're bringing in Mephisto. They can still adapt that storyline because he can still go to a distraught Peter Parker, who has lost everyone in his life, and he's like, "Do you want it all back?"
Jeez.
But what will he want from Peter? Will he want like, you'll never have never have MJ again? Like you thought before it was bad. Like you can always re-meet her and try to fall back in love, but like I can just take her out of this picture, Ned out of this picture. I can take like anything. Like who knows what he would want from Peter? But now that door is open because we know Mephisto exists, and we know Peter is in that same exact vulnerable point that he was. Technically, in a way, still out of the full outcome of Civil War because Peter's journey kind of was like one big arc. Because it was like meet Tony Stark, fight the Avengers, fight with the Avengers, die or like get snapped, come back, and like simultaneously went from Mysterio or like losing Tony Stark, then Mysterio fucks with his mind and makes him think like, I'm the next Tony Stark. Nah, fuck you, kid. And like makes him question trusting adults. Gets to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange says, fuck off. Gets mad at him for everything that happened. And then loses all of his friends, family. People are dead. Like all this stuff. So like Peter is, it's either going to be Mephisto or the symbiote.
Yeah.
That brings out the worst part of Peter Parker going forward. Like there's no way in hell he's not going to be like Dark Peter.
Venom's coming soon, isn't it?
Like
Maguire.
Venom is coming soon, end of this month, guys. And also Joker 2 came out. We have not seen it yet. I have heard very controversial things about the endings and stuff and the subject matter. I did get spoiled a little bit about one thing. I don't want to talk about it on the podcast though, because I don't even think I would talk about it even if we saw it in the movie.
Okay.
But
overall, the episodes. Do you want to rate like 3 and 4 separately or like together?
I would say separately. I say 3 was with the Mephisto thing kind of gives me a little extra brownie point, so I'm gonna say an 8, and then the last one I'm gonna say like a 9.
Okay.
That practical was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I like the practical a lot. The effects. 3 I'm gonna say like a 7. And then for 4 I'm gonna say probably like a 7.5. It was good. It was enjoyable.
Okay. Well, all right, guys. We will see you next week. Hopefully in our normal setup
area. I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah. But
wait, hold on, real quick. Funko Pops. Is this done on purpose? Because I feel like they did the same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah, I think it's not done on purpose. It's so that's the thing. So guys, if you're not aware, when it comes to, and I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. When it comes to marketing, so what ends up happening is certain things, like if there's a like let's say I'm Disney and I'm like, okay, Spider-Man 4 is gonna come out July 25th, 2026, and it's announced, like it has been at a con, it's been announced, blah blah blah. At the same time, marketing and merchandise starts getting pushed. So in other words, they're like, okay, you need to hit this mark. You need to release this months prior to hype up that movie.
Okay, right.
You can't break that. As soon as you put that in motion, it just moves.
Okay.
Which is why McDonald's had the Captain America Brave New World way before the movie's coming out, which doesn't come out till February, and those have come and gone and spoiled Red Hulk stuff. Yeah. Because it was originally supposed to come out
I see.
time. So Agatha has also been delayed release date, so which is why the pops are out, because in reality we should have already known and seen Agatha, and the pops would have been like, oh cool, that's Death. Gotcha. So it's not on purpose, but it is because they
just can't stop the process.
They cannot once it starts, because that company is now like they
have a deadline.
Yeah, they have a contract that they have to push. It's like, hey, this has to be out by this point, whether to promote it or to reignite interest. So however that works.
I want to be behind that phone call. It's like, yeah, can you stop production? It's like, nah, just click.
Already sent. Okay. All right. Well, other than that, guys, we will see you next week. Where can they find you?
You can find me on the Sphere 21 on any social media platform, but on TikTok, I am Oliver Kahn VA.
You can find me at AOMR Photography. You can find this podcast at Nerd Locker Podcast, and you can find the studio, Archangel Studios Official, anywhere, all the places.
All the places.
And we'll see you guys for Penguin next. Bye.
Bye.